Hello, everybody. The Premier League returns this weekend. Welcome to match week number one predictions of the 23-24 Premier League season.
Give me all you've got if you're prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lions. I've been feeling down, but I've been looking up, afraid to fall. God, I've been so down, can you pick me up? Don't let me fall. Can you show me how to fix this mess? I am down and on my knees and I may fall as I'm so close to the end.
Yes, the greatest league in the world returns this weekend, and it is bigger than ever. New players, new managers, new teams. Let us kick off. But remember, guys, do remember to smash a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and get involved by leaving your predictions in the comment section down below. Yes, the Premier League season is back, and as always, going to be drama throughout the 90 minutes as well. And as we say for these things, it is a marathon, not a sprint. But let us kick off. And the first game to kick us off the season is a battle of two Manchester City, well, legends almost, you'd have to say. Vincent Company against Pep Guardiola. Yes, Burnley against Manchester City. Burnley making a big return to the Premier League under the stewardship of Vincent Company, absolutely storming the Championship last season against last season's champions, Manchester City, of course. Burnley have made some very good signings. You know, they have made, obviously, Michael Obafemi has signed permanent as well. James Trafford as well, playing against his former club. That's going to be very interesting, isn't it? And I think Burnley under the lights of Turf Moor is going to be very difficult for any team to go to as well. But with Manchester City as well, they've added the likes of Hosko, Gavardiol, as well, and Mateo Kovacic, two very good Croatians in there as well. I know they have lost Riyad Mahrez, they have lost Ilkay Gundogan, but when you look at that Manchester City side, it is drafted with a lot of quality. And look, this is going to be a fantastic first game of the season. I remember when Burnley started the season against Chelsea. I think that was very long time ago. But yeah, Burnley did actually start the season then. I think they lost 3-1. I think they did lose 3-1 to Chelsea, but they played very well that day. This is a completely different Burnley side to the ones that we've seen before. They do play a very good attacking style of football as well. Look, it's not the easiest of starts. Let me just say that, but I am going to have to say I do think Manchester City will come out on top. I am going to give Burnley a goal. I do think Burnley will score, but I do think Manchester City will just have too much quality for this Burnley side. I'm going to go for Burnley 1, Manchester City 3 for the first game as well. But this is a Friday evening game, 8 o'clock kickoff. Do remember that the Premier League season does start on a Friday evening. But I'm going to go for Burnley 1, Manchester City 3. We'll move into the Saturday games, and starting off 12:30 at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. Arsenal, newly crowned Community Shield champions. So congratulations to Arsenal, congratulations to Mikel Arteta. However, that does not mean anything, as we have known, because I think it's one team has gone on to win the Premier League since I think 2012. Who's won the Community Shield, so that's something to look ahead to as well. But Arsenal have added the likes of Declan Rice, they've added Kai Havertz, they have added Julian Timber as well. Could potentially be adding David Raya as well if you look at what the reports are saying. I think David Raya would be an interesting signing because you've already got a very good goalkeeper in Aaron Ramsdale there. Matt Turner looks like he could potentially be going to Arsenal's opponents, Nottingham Forest. There's a lot of talk between Nottingham Forest and Arsenal about Matt Turner. Forest, I am a little bit wary of, I've got to say. They have obviously added Alanga as well, but the goalkeeping position has to be filled very, very soon. I mean, they are talking Matt Turner. They're even talking to, obviously, Leicester City legend Kasper Schmeichel as well. They have obviously lost Keylor Navas. They are trying to get Dean Henderson, but that looks like a deal that is potentially going to be going towards the end of the window as well. But the best piece of transfer business that they have done so far is, of time of recording, Brennan Johnson is still a Nottingham Forest player. Now, I think that is very, very good business because Brennan Johnson is a very, very good player. He has been linked with a move away. I think Brentford was one that was wanting him. And I think you have to say that is a very, very good move to, to keep Brennan Johnson so far. But Nottingham Forest, they do need to improve their away form. Last season, win away from home was not very, very good, and they do have to improve that, don't they? So I'm going to have to say I think this is going to be a very, very comfortable Arsenal win. I can honestly see them scoring a hatful of goals here, and I just think it'll be a very, very tricky first game for Nottingham Forest. And I'm going to go Arsenal 5, Nottingham Forest 0. I just got a feeling that this could be one step too far for Nottingham Forest. Arsenal 5, Nottingham Forest 0. So we move into the 3 o'clockers, and we do move on to Bournemouth against West Ham, and two sides who are looking for interesting seasons, aren't they? I mean, Bournemouth did finish 15th last season. West Ham are looking for a much, much better season, aren't they? They finished 14th, so one place above Bournemouth in the league. But Bournemouth, they have added to their team, haven't they? They have added Kirkic from Feyenoord, which is a very, very good move to get him. As they have also added Justin Kluivert to their ranks as well. So they're looking pretty good. They are trying to get Che Adams potentially from Southampton as well. There has been a bid sort of rejected by the Saints to get Che Adams. So I think that would be a very, very good move because obviously I do have Solanke as well there as well. But Bournemouth, they do have a new manager, Idriola, who did very, very well for Rayo Vallecano. So, they'll be hoping, the Bournemouth faithful, they'll be hoping that he does well at the Cherries as well. It has been a very, very poor window as far as West Ham are concerned. Players almost looking like they're going to be joining. Carlos Borges was one of them, looking like he was going to be going to West Ham, but went to Ajax as well. However, West Ham do look like they could potentially sign in Edson Alvarez to potentially replace Declan Rice. And I think that'd be a very, very good move. I'm a big, big fan of Edson Alvarez. The Mexican would be a very, very good signing for West Ham. But they need a lot more as well. They need a lot more to come in to replace these players who have gone away. This is a tricky one. This is a very, very tricky one. West Ham actually did win the last fixture. I think it was a 4-0 win, if I seem to remember rightly. But new season, Bournemouth in front of their fans. They'll be wanting to impress the new manager. West Ham, you don't know what West Ham is going to turn up, do you? You just don't know what West Ham is going to turn up. For me, though, I'm going to go for a Bournemouth win. I think Bournemouth will start the season with a win. I'm going to give West Ham a goal because I don't trust Bournemouth defensively at this moment in time. I'm going to go for Bournemouth 2, West Ham 1. I just think West Ham could be on a bit of a slippery slope to start the season. But I'm going to go for Bournemouth 2, West Ham 1. And we welcome Luton Town into the Premier League. But what a very tricky place to go to start your Premier League season at Amex Stadium, where they play Brighton and Hove Albion, and one of the teams of the season last season. Roberto De Zerbi coming in for Graham Potter when he went to Chelsea. And look what happened there. Brighton did get European football for the first time ever as well. Great to see. It was really great to see. And I've got to say, Brighton have added to their ranks Mahmoud Dahoud from Borussia Dortmund, James Milner from Liverpool. They've also added João Pedro as well. And I think they've added someone called Igor as well from the Spanish league. As well. So Roberto De Zerbi, he's managing to get players. He's managed to get players for very, very good prices. I think Brighton are going to have another good season. I think they will, have a good time of it with obviously having European football as well. But we welcome Luton Town. We welcome Luton Town to the Premier League now. We all know what's happening at Luton Town. They are trying to get their stadium up to capacity to, have more people to go in there. They have added Kaminsky from Blackburn. I think that's a very, very good sign. I think he's a top keeper. Did well for Blackburn last season. They have obviously added Marvelous Nakamba as well. So it's a very, very tricky place to go to. Let me just say that Amex Stadium was a much better fortress for Brighton last season. But Luton Town, they're definitely, definitely no mugs when it comes to last season. They were very, very good both away and at home, especially. However, Brighton, new season in front of the Brighton faithful. I think this could be a bit of a long afternoon for Luton Town. And look, Luton Town will not be playing next week because obviously their game against Burnley has been postponed due to the fact that the ground is not quite ready for Premier League football just yet. And I think Brighton will have a very, very comfortable afternoon. I'm going to go give Brighton a 3-0 victory against Luton Town. Now, look, Luton Town, this result does not. It doesn't give any account of what your season's going to be like. Look, this doesn't matter against teams like Brighton. It matters of getting teams in the bottom half. And look, good luck to you for the rest of the season as well. But I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory to Brighton. And now we have Everton against Fulham. Sean Dyche's Everton versus Marco Silva's Fulham. Yes, Sean Dyche managing to keep Everton in the league by the skin of their teeth, has to be said, by the skin of their teeth. But he has had a full pre-season now to see what his ideas come across as well. Fulham, another team who have had a decent pre-season as well. When you look at Marco Silva, potentially he was potentially going to go to Saudi Arabia, but he turned that down out of the loyalty of Fulham, which I think is very, very good. Everton have added the likes of Dan Juma. They've added Ashley Young as well. It looks like they're going to be adding Yusuf Tramitri from Sporting Lisbon as well. And I think that's a very, very good signing as well. However, Sean Dyche has said Dominic Calvert-Lewin will not be quite ready potentially to start for Everton against Fulham. So again, that's a bit of a blow. That is a bit of a blow. So it remains to be seen if they can get the Tramitri deal done in time. Could he potentially start up front for Everton, or could it be Dan Juma, or could it potentially be Neil Mopey? We'll just need to wait and see. Fulham, they've added Raul Jimenez. They have added Raul Jimenez to their ranks as well, because the future of Alexander Mitrovic is still up in question. We don't know if he is going to be playing in this game, and we actually don't know if he is going to be going to Saudi Arabia as well. But how do I see this going? This is a very tricky game to call because obviously Everton, this is their last season at Goodison Park. So the Goodison Park faithful will want to have a much, much better season as well. But Fulham, they're a very, very good side. They were very, very good away from home last season, and they were exceptional at the Craven Cottage as well. I'm going to go for a draw. I think this will be a very, very good game. I think it'll be a very, very tight affair. And I am going to go for a 1-1 draw between Everton and Fulham. I think it could be a very, very tight one there. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this one. And now we have Sheffield United against Crystal Palace. Welcome back to the Premier League, Sheffield United. Again, they've added some interesting players. I'm going to Yasser Larouchi from the French league there, ex-Liverpool, of course, as well. They've also added Aaron Trusty from Arsenal, which is a very, very good signing as well. However, they have lost their talisman in Ilman Ndiaye. He has gone to Marseille. They've also lost Billy Sharp. They've lost Enda Stevens as well. They are trying, if you believe obviously the rumours, they are trying to get Chupa Akpom from Middlesbrough. So that could be an interesting one to bring in. look, Sheffield United, it's going to be a very, very tricky season for them. But if they can get results at Bramall Lane, that could be whether they go down or not. And I look at Sheffield United's squad, and they definitely need to add players. They definitely need to add a few players in that side. But look, good luck to Sheffield United for the season ahead, and it'll be very, very interesting. In fact, the last time actually Sheffield United did come into the Premier League, their opening game was against Crystal Palace. It was against Crystal Palace. They won 1-0 in that game. Palace themselves, they have obviously got Roy Hodgson back in full charge of the team as well. They have managed to obviously keep Michael Olise for the time being. Wilfred Zaha has gone, so now I ask the question: will Eze be able to step up? Like, Eze is a fantastic player. I am looking at like players like Mateta, as well, Jordan Ayew, as well, to step up as well, because look, Michael Olise is out for I think 3 to 4 months. I think it's something like that. So he's out for a wee bit as well. But going away to Sheffield United is a very, very tricky place to go to. Let me say that. But I just think with Palace at this moment in time, I think they will have a good account of themselves. And if Roy Hodgson can get them playing like they did last season, they will be definitely very good to watch. For me, I'm actually going to go for an away win in this one. I think Palace will start the season, and I think you'll see Eze play really, really well. And I think they'll keep a clean sheet in this one. And I'm going to go for Sheffield United 0, Crystal Palace 2. So those are the three o'clockers. And now we will move on to one of the games of the weekend for me. I mean, these two will definitely be up there battling for a top four place. It's Newcastle United against Aston Villa, and this is going to be a very, very good game. Look, Newcastle United have added Tonali, they've added Harvey Barnes to their ranks. Looks like they're adding Livramento as well. So very, very good signings from Newcastle as well, and obviously Newcastle do have Champions League to look forward to as well. But Aston Villa, they've bolstered their ranks with Pau Torres, Moussa Diaby, as well. Two fantastic signings, you'd have to say. Yuri Tillemans as well on a free from Leicester. This is going to be one humdinger of a game, isn't it? I mean, Newcastle did actually win the last meeting as well. This was obviously when Steven Gerrard was in charge of Aston Villa. And Newcastle did actually win that pretty comfortably. However, I think with these two, looking at these two, this is going to be some game 5:30 on Saturday. I think this could be a bit of a goal fest. Villa like to score goals. Newcastle like to score goals. They do like to keep them out as well. Villa are the same as well. But I'm going to go for a Desmond. I think there will be goals in this game, and I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think this is going to be a very, very exciting opening game, and I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw between Newcastle United and Aston Villa. So that takes care of the Saturday games, and we'll move on to Super Sunday, where we have Brentford against Tottenham Hotspur. And again, Brentford, very good side last season, weren't they? They were really, really good to watch last season. Tottenham, all changed at Tottenham. Ange Postecoglou is the new manager as well. But Tottenham have signed some very, very good players. James Maddison is obviously one of them as well. Kulusevski is another one as well. So that, Tottenham are looking very, very good. The biggest question, though, is Harry Kane. Will he stay? There is obviously a big amount of interest from Germany, from Bayern Munich, about Harry Kane, but it remains to be seen. And what will happen with Brentford this season? Because Brentford last season were very, very good at home. They were really, really good at home. Ivan Toney is suspended as well. So it gives the likes of Vissa, it gives the likes of Mbuemo to step up to the plate as well. And also you've got Flecken coming in as goalkeeper as well. David Raya is still at the club as it stands at this moment in time. But you've got to say that this would be a really, really interesting one as well. And also Tottenham actually don't have Hugo Lloris anymore as well. So Vicario, I think, is the goalkeeper who's came in there as well. And look, Tottenham, I think this is going to be a very, very interesting opening game. And I'm actually going to go for Tottenham to win this. I think Tottenham with Maddison, you've obviously got Kulusevski, you've obviously got Charleston there. I think Tottenham are building very, very well for this team. And I think I'm going to go for an opening day win for Spurs. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Tottenham. I just think they will just have a little bit too much for Brentford. But look, I think Brentford will have another good season. And I do think Tottenham will need to give Ange Postecoglou time. But I think this is going to be a very, very interesting one. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Tottenham. And now, probably one of the games of the weekend for me as well. 4:30 on Sunday, Chelsea against Liverpool, Pochettino against Klopp. And this is a fully new Chelsea side, isn't it? I mean, Chelsea have lost a lot of players over the summer. I mean, when you think about it, some of the players that they've lost, Pulisic is gone, Mendy is gone, Koulibaly's gone, Kovacic is gone, Kante's gone. There's a lot of players that have left that Chelsea side, and I think they needed to strengthen as well. And they have actually strengthened. Nicholas Jackson from Villarreal, I think it's a very, very good signing. In Kunku, he is a doubt for this game. So it'll be interesting to see if he will make it. As well, Robert Sanchez they've signed as well from Brighton, so that's going to be another interesting signing to say the very, very least. And again, all change at Liverpool. When you look at the players that have gone out there: Fabinho, Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Keita, Milner, Firmino, Fabinho as well. So all those players have gone out of Liverpool as well. They have added McAllister and Szoboszlai as well. Look, Liverpool need more. They definitely need more in the midfield, to say the very, very least. And it'll be interesting to see what sort of formation Klopp will go with. Will he go for that hybrid role for Trent Alexander-Arnold, or will he stay with the 4-3-3 at this moment in time? Look, Liverpool are lacking the DM as well. You'd have to say as well, Chelsea's midfield isn't the best as well. So that could be something to look at for Chelsea's sake as well. But Pochettino is a very, very good manager. He's very, very good with young players as well. Chelsea need a better season. They need a much, much better season. I think as well, the fact that they will have Europe, I don't think there's any excuse not to have a better season. How do I see this one going? Look, Liverpool needed to start fast last season. They didn't. They didn't start fast last season. Chelsea season was up and down completely as well. It's not the easiest places to go to, Stamford Bridge. Let me just say that. And actually, will we get goals in this game? Because the last 4 meetings for Liverpool and Chelsea has ended 0-0. Have ended in a draw as well. So I'm going to go for goals. I'm going to go for goals in this one, but I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a draw on this one. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1 as well. And I don't think that would be too bad a start for both sides. Anyway, but yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think it'll be a very, very close encounter, but I'm going to go for a draw on the opening day of the season. So the final game to preview and predict is Manchester United against Wolves. Manchester United adding Onana, Mount, Rasmus Højlund as well. They are potentially going to be added. Johnny Evans was another one I think they've added as well, which is interesting to say the very, very least. But a very, very experienced defender in there as well. They could be getting Amrabat potentially from Fiorentina as well. I think that'd be a very, very good sign. Issue sort of goes out now for Manchester United. Maguire, McTominay. I think they do need to get sort of some of these deadwood out of the club. Wolves has been a terrible, terrible summer for Wolves. I've got to be said. Ruben Neves gone. Raul Jimenez gone. Nathan Collins gone. Jeremy Tino gone. Diego Costa gone. They've lost a lot of players. Lost a lot of that spine that they had. There's still rumours about Mateus Nunes potentially going away as well. So it's not as it's not looking good for Wolves. It's not looking good for Wolves. And the last place you want to go to is Old Trafford to start the season. Look, I think this could be a very, very interesting game. Manchester United will definitely want to start much better than they did last season when they lost 2-1 to Brighton. And Erik ten Hag's first game in charge. But I look at Manchester United, I look at Wolves, and at this moment in time, you can only see really a Manchester United win. If I'm being honest, look, we're not going to see Rasmus Højlund for the next couple of weeks, but I think United will be far too strong for Wolves. If we're going to be honest, I'm going Manchester United 2, Wolves 0. So that is that for match week number 1. Do leave your predictions in the comments section down below, and I will give you a recap of my predictions as well. So I'm going to go Burnley 1, Manchester City 3, Arsenal 5, Nottingham Forest 0, Bournemouth 2, West Ham United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Luton Town 0, Everton 1, Fulham 1, Sheffield United 0, Crystal Palace 2, Newcastle United 2, Aston Villa 2, Brentford 1, Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1, and Manchester United 2, Wolves 0. So there we go. There is my Premier League match week 1 predictions. I'm sure you have your own. Please do leave your predictions in the comment section down below. Join in the fun. Join in the fun. See if you can beat me as well. The highest scorer will get a shout out in the next video as well. So keep an eye on that. And also in the description box, I have put my Fantasy Premier League mini league in there as well. So do join that if you do like FPL as well. But there we go, guys. There we go. Match week number 1 is done and dusted. I will be back on Tuesday for match week number 2. But until then, enjoy the football. The Premier League is back, and we're definitely going to be enjoying another season of Premier League football. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Good luck to your teams for the weekend. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Give me all you've got if you're prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lion.